First question is, what are you reading now? I'm reading The Virgin Suicides. Yeah, I just didn't see the movie basically, and I kind of got interested in the movie, but I wanted to read the book first, so that's why I picked that up. And I'm reading The Enchanter by Vladimir Nabokov because I just like Nabokov a lot. Basically, this one is like the first try he did before writing Lolita, which is basically like kind of the same story. The characters are kind of different, but yeah, not the most joyful readings you could have, I guess. Second question is a story or a character you can relate to, and it's probably gonna be a little bit surprising for most of you, but I chose Into the Wild. Not necessarily the story, because obviously I haven't been into the wild and I haven't found death in these awful circumstances, but Christopher McCandless was the main character of that movie, of that book, and obviously the movie. Even though it may not seem very obvious for all of you, I feel like I can really relate to him, like his view on society, the literature he likes, his quest for beauty and aesthetic and just freedom and truth. I've always loved truth and beauty and nature. And yeah, I just feel like I can really relate to many things. Okay, so third question is a book that has had a huge impact on you, or that has changed your life, or that you've learned things from. So it was really hard. When I came up with that question, I was so happy, like, oh my god, that's such a good question. But then when I had to find the answer, I was like, why did I come up with such a difficult question? But yeah, I picked up two books. So I picked up Dracula by Bram Stoker because it's just my favorite book basically of all time. I just love everything about that book, like about that story. So whenever someone asks me what's your favorite book, I always think of that book, so I guess it could count as having a huge impact on my life. So probably not many of you know that, if you're not French. So I couldn't find any translation online, so it's called La Reine Morte, de Monterland, and it would be literally translated as The Dead Queen, and that's a play. I just love that book, and it has definitely influenced me so much when it comes to my writing. It's really an interesting play. Next question is a book you could read over and over. This book is slightly weird, so it's Nadja by André Breton. It's obviously once again a French book. Okay, that's only two French books. So this one is pretty famous. I guess everyone that likes literature a bit knows about this and about this writer, which is one of, if not the most important writer when it comes to surrealism. I guess it's also called like that in English, and I find it very inspiring, and I just like the character so much, the woman Nadja, and yeah, I just like it, so here you are. Next is a book that you would recommend absolutely. So this is the book I would recommend to everyone. It's called L'éducation sentimentale. In English it would be called Sentimental Education. It's written by Gustave Flaubert, who is an amazing writer. It's probably one of my favorite writers of all time. The story is just amazing. It's so well written basically, and the characters are so deep and the emotions are so beautiful and intense. You can feel them so clearly when reading the book. So it is just a magnificent book basically. I just love that book. It's just amazing, seriously. So if you ever want to read something that is French, just go and buy this one. It may not be the easiest to read and it's not the shortest to read, but that's just so worth it. It's just amazing. I just love that book. So next question is a book that really surprised you. The first one is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, obviously. I have the French version here. The English version is in my sister's room. I just found it very surprising because it is so modern. Like, then this is the book, the second book. So it's called Der Steppenwolf. It's by Herman Hesse, I guess. I read that book like 1 month ago, and I read it in one night because it was so like captivating. It's just weird, but it's really, really cool. So next question is either a book that you would like to see as a movie or a movie that you would like to see as a book, whichever is easiest for you to answer. So for me, it was really easy. So that's a movie I would love to see as a book. That is Before Sunrise and Before Sunset. A lovely girl actually suggested that I should watch them. They're just amazing and so beautiful, and I just could perfectly imagine them being novels, like they would be perfect, but unfortunately they're not, so kind of disappointing really. So next is not really a question. I just thought it would be nice to just throw like 1, 2, 4 nouns and just see what it evokes to you, like such as novels, I would say, or plays or whatever. So if I say love, okay, so it's really easy for me. If I think of love, I either think of Sentimental Education or The Red and the Black, from Stendhal. It's an amazing book that is very, very known, and that's just such a beautiful depiction of love. It's amazing. Obviously Romeo and Juliet as well. If I say adventure, so adventure, obviously, as for me, it would be Call of the Wild by Jack London. And if I say fear, so obviously I would say Shining from Stephen King. I just love Stephen King, first of all, and I've read all of these books. And next and last word is exotic, so, or exotism, whatever you want to call that. I picked up a Japanese book. It is called, in Japanese, let me tell you, Ukigumo, and that's written by Hayashi Fumiko, and it means floating clouds, and that's a beautiful love story, but that's not your typical love story. It's basically the story of a love story which is already over, but that hasn't died yet. It's beautiful. It's an amazing book. It takes place in Japan and Vietnam during the Second World War, basically after the Second World War, and it's just beautiful, and really it's a nice book. You could definitely read it, and there's a movie in black and white, and it's also very beautiful. So yeah. So that's basically just it for this video for this time. Feel free, everyone, to do it. I would really love knowing what you like reading, and maybe I could pick up some of your favorite books so that I have something new to read. Yeah. I hope you enjoy watching that video, guys, and I will talk to you very, 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 very soon. Bye!